In influence marketing, you have different costs involved.
A reel is top of funnel, because a reel has a lot of exposure.
We scaled an e-commerce to 7 figures.
Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, and today is a very special day because we're launching our new podcast, Zero to Infinity. The purpose of this podcast is to educate e-commerce brands on how to scale profitably worldwide. Also to give visibility to e-commerce experts for our South American audience. Today we have a very special guest, Peter, co-founder of Influencer Hero. We will be talking about how affiliate marketing is helping millions of brands scale profitably without putting cash upfront. There are some things amazing of Peter, and is that Peter has helped more than 450 brands worldwide, ranging from brands and businesses as Arsenal, Arabian Oud, TCL. He works with top entrepreneurs like Greta van der Riel, founder of Hey Influencer, and David Fogarty, the founder of The Audi. Also, he's been helping revolutionize a $32 billion industry, yes, billions with a B, with a 33% annual growth rate.
Peter, brother, it's amazing to have you here. Thanks for taking the time and coming by.
Thanks a lot for the invite, and I'm glad to be the first guest on the podcast.
Oh, brother, it's amazing. You have an amazing background. You have an amazing platform that we're going to discuss today. So let's start with the thing. So, Peter, please tell us about who are you, where you come from.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I started my career in corporate finance. So I kind of did that normal route of going to college and then going into corporate. And then later, in business, basically.
You have a feeling of corporate guy, but you changed. We want to know, obviously, what is Influencer Hero, how it works, and explain us a little bit more about how you build it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so back then, so this was 2017. Actually very early. So how it started was, so I was working in corporate finance, and my co-founder and me, we both wanted to start a company. It was quite interesting. Back then, I was working for a merchant bank in the Netherlands, and my boss back then was a director. He was financing retail companies in the Netherlands. And he assigned me with this beautiful and daunting task of mapping all retail companies in the Netherlands and tracking their financials and stuff, and then categorizing them in different groups. The first time I got exposed to e-commerce was seeing fast-growing small companies. So these were typically companies which were growing 200-300% year on year. And my boss wanted to finance those companies. And I saw very fast-growing e-commerce businesses, and I did some research, right, because I was interested. And I saw very young founders, students, people who were running those companies. So that's why I got interested in e-commerce. But back then, my co-founder, I had the idea to build a software to automate finding those companies, because I told you about this whole task, right, where we need to map all those companies. And he was also working in finance, so he said, okay, good idea, because he had to do those things all the time in M&A. You often have to find comparable companies. So we started with that. But then he said, look, why don't we start another project to hedge our odds, right, if the software company doesn't work? And he said, why don't we look into e-commerce? And I saw those companies which were growing really fast. I was super excited. And then I took over more focusing on the e-commerce side, and he was building this software for banks. Long story short, turns out it's quite tough to sell software to banks. That project failed, but the e-commerce took off. And that's how we got started in e-commerce.
This was back when, in 2001?
This was 2017. Yeah, so very early. So this was probably the time where
Meta, you run
Yeah.
that.
You could
probably-
exactly you could build a website. It doesn't even look good, and you can run ads and you can make money. That was the time. It was not the infancy, but still very early on Facebook ads. Yeah.
Okay, but that is amazing that you No, yeah, pre-COVID, but that is amazing that you have like the possibility of look this type of businesses that were running and they were increasing really fast and take the idea to actually start building an e-commerce passing the time. No,
Yeah.
so yeah, because at the end it gives you a good perspective of the business, of the idea, of the scalability of this type of industry. But it's amazing to see that.
No, and the data. So no. Now tell us a little bit of how did you end up doing Influencer Hero?
Yeah, good question. So I just explained how we got into e-commerce, right?
Yeah.
Because it was my co-founder. He said, "Look, let's look into e-commerce." And
Wait, you used to work with your boss, and you did that, and then you identified the gap, and then you have a business partner. Like,
I think the first project, like real serious entrepreneurial project, was this software which we tried to sell to banks.
To banks that it was not
To
successful.
automate finding comparable companies.
okay,
And that came through the internship I was doing at this merchant bank in the Netherlands. But again, as I told, that project didn't work out. I mean, we were able to sell 3 subscriptions. So we had $150 MRR. And we still have that to date. So we had 0% churn, but they just forgot about subscription probably. Yeah.
So they continue to pay you in this moment with the automated. Yeah, it's a bank. I think it's.
Yeah, they forget about it. But it's very hard to sell to and marketing tech. It's a lot. Well, there was just better product market fit. There was a difference. Yeah, but I think to get back to your question, how do we bridge to Influencer Hero? So we went into e-commerce and we did it with influencer marketing. So we just booted some website, started sending products to influencers, and it worked. And then we scaled an e-commerce to 7 figures, but only with influencer marketing. No paid ads, no Amazon, no SEO, no SEM. And that's how we built the software, or I say we, but it's my co-founder. He built the software to support our own e-commerce needs. I was doing the operational things. And then other brands wanted to use the software. And that's how...
on Shopify.
It was on Shopify, yeah.
2017.
Yeah. This was a bit later. So 2017 we started. I think it was 2019. Yeah.
Brother,
Okay.
but you scaled to 7 figures in USD, yeah?
Yeah,
to
US
have
dollars.
US
American
dollars.
market.
American
It was
market?
US, yeah.
US
Okay. Only by affiliate marketing.
Only by
By
influencer and
Ah, sorry,
affiliate. Yeah, but
influencer.
it was affiliate marketing. I mean,
Okay.
affiliate marketing is a broad term, but we used affiliate marketing with influencers, right?
Yeah.
And maybe don't tell us about the brand name, but the type of product. What product did you use to sell back then?
It was in the home and living space.
Home and living.
Okay.
So we're working mainly with like mommy influencers,
Okay.
home and living creators in the US.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was good. In the US, it's a big market, you know, you can scale quite fast.
Yeah, and back in the time, how you get this type of content creators, influencers?
So at the beginning, it was all manual. So at first, we didn't have any software, but we said, okay, we want to start with e-commerce. And then we just, did it manually. Research, we looked at some influencers, we sent them products, and then we started making sales. And I'm not sure if the moment you guys landed your first client or the first moment you make revenue, it's an amazing moment.
Yeah, and the
course,
first peak is amazing.
You cannot sleep. The
Yeah,
Shopify on your...
Exactly. Yeah. It was the notifications was always on. And
it's always off.
Today is always off.
At some point you turn it off. But at the beginning, it was amazing. But look, I think this is also the conversation about today, right? We will explain how to run performance marketing, because back then when we scaled the e-commerce, it was bootstrapped. And we didn't have external capital. So everything had to be performance marketing, right? We had to be profitable on acquisition. And that's how we built the entire software to support scaling to hundreds to thousands of creators.
And these creators were only like Instagram creators or YouTube creators, other social media platform creators, or just...
Early in the days, we started on Instagram. But then later on, we branched into TikTok and YouTube as well.
And why US? Why did you say, hey, let's start US and not, let's say,
Good
Europe
question.
or Netherlands? That's also a big market for e-commerce.
Yeah,
US is the biggest, but you have to understand that decision of going US.
True, good question. We didn't start, I think we started to sell in the UK, because back then we were both in the UK. And then in London. And Then we moved to Canada. And then what happened was we had to work with a lot of influencers. And the US, well, it's basically correlated to population, right? So if you look at how many influencers exist, it's just a correlation with population. The bigger the population, the more influencers exist. And in the US, we saw, okay, look, we can scale there the fastest because we reached out to thousands of creators. That's how the whole software was built. And in the US was the easiest to scale. So that was the reason.
Okay. And you were back there in Germany, yes? So you were
This time, so this was 2019 and then 20. We were in London, in the UK.
okay in London, selling in the USA.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, scaling to 7 figures
Through
influencer marketing.
Yeah.
At that moment, to give you an idea, and being profitable. That is really important to have
Profitable
money.
on first order.
Profitable.
On first order.
Yeah.
There was
Sorry.
and
with
And no email marketing, no,
No.
SEO.
email
no...
marketing, yes.
Email
Yes.
marketing, okay.
But just retargeting, right? So
Yeah, at the end, you
I mean,
bring
email
the
marketing
traffic.
is kind of a form of retargeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, yes.
And we had meta retargeting ads, but not cold acquisition ads.
Okay.
So we
Your
built
full
the
top
sequence.
of funnel was influencer
Yeah.
marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Influencer Hero platform, just a quick question, and is when you decided to do US, were you frightened? How did you pass that barrier of why US and not something that we can do here? Like, how was that sentiment with your partner, or what was what made you take the decision? Because I know that a lot of people face that that fright that they have. So
To break into the US, yeah?
to start into the US, offshore.
Yeah, true. It's a good question. I think there was not a moment of fear because we were just back then we were just experimenting, right?
Yeah,
we were just starting, and the US sounded like the most natural choice because it's English, like English speaking, so we could do the communication there. I think from a supply chain perspective, there were certainly challenges, which I can touch base on a little bit throughout this conversation. I think all e-commerce businesses, they have to deal with supply chain. But other than that, honestly, I'm very fond of the US market because I think commercially it's quite easy compared to Europe, for example, where you have all different countries, different regulations, different languages, and the US is just one big market. So in my opinion, I think the commercialization is often easier in the US than Europe. But that's based on my experience so far.
From China?
So we were back then working with manufacturers in Japan and China.
Okay.
In China, very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
I have another question that also I want to give to the audience is, what is affiliate marketing? Because we have been discussing around that you build this business through that backbone of affiliate marketing, but what it is, how you can explain how the process works.
Yeah, and it started also get from affiliate marketing into influencers, so people can start now understanding Influencer Hero and the platform and everything.
Yeah, sounds great. I think, look, affiliate marketing is kind of a broader term, right? I think a lot of cases when people hear affiliate marketing, they think from the creator's perspective, right? The creator create content, and one way of monetizing their audience is affiliate marketing, right? They sell products and they earn affiliate commission. So in simple terms, if you don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's basically commission, right? So whenever you sell something, you get a kickback, right? Could be 10%, could be 20%. Or in most cases it's less actually. When we talk about affiliate marketing, we always talk about the brands and merchants perspective, right? Because we focus on advertising technology for brands. So we always talk about the brand's perspective. How do you work with partners through affiliate marketing? So basically sending products to influencers, letting them post, and then tracking the commission in order to stay profitable. Yeah, because I think affiliate marketing is just another way of explaining performance marketing, because you're paying 20% or 10% off your revenue. So by its nature, it's profitable.
Right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're paying on
On the sale.
Yeah,
not
upfront.
What happened with us and what we're pointing this in this moment is because in South American market is not so well known affiliate marketing. You know, you go to other more developed markets, United States, Europe, Middle East, and other places, and affiliate market is really common. But where you go to Colombia, to Peru, to Chile, to all these countries is like a step behind, you know. So
Okay.
that is important to give an idea what is affiliate marketing. Something that I have seen is like your e-commerce that you built back then in the past. It was the MVP to actually go and build influencer hero, you know. And for me, and the idea is to actually explain people influencer hero what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because you said MVP. When we launched the software product, it was quite developed because we already built it for our own e-commerce. So most of the features, well, I wouldn't say most of the features of today, but quite a good amount of features were already built. So when we went to market with Influencer Hero, we had quite a good product already. And I think one of the key strengths is actually that it was always built from the user perspective because we
You
were
were
our
there.
own clients, right? Because we were.
And you have the success case that it builds
yeah.
a lot of credibility.
And I wrote a lot about that as well. But yeah, I think so. It was a certain the part which was MVP was when we went to market. I started selling the product to test it, but it still had to be developed for third-party users. So we were already selling, and then my co-founder had to build the product so it can be used by third parties. But yeah, I think that was the first part of the question, right? So the MVP, and then the second part was just a brief explanation on the platform. Or
The decision of, hey, we're going to change from e-commerce to
Yeah.
the influencer hero to e-commerce, and yeah, the thing that you were
Yeah.
saying.
So the decision was mainly driven by, I would say, cash flow. And the reason is in e-commerce, because you have working capital, you have the inventory, your cash flow can behave quite interestingly and challengingly because you need to buy inventory. And essentially, if you are bootstrapped and you have to run a company, it's quite difficult to manage, especially with influencer marketing. I'll explain a little bit more throughout this conversation why that's the case. But your sales, they spike because with influencer marketing, you run a campaign, and the moment all your influencers post, you will make all your sales. Right? So it's not like with Facebook ads or Amazon where you have like steady revenue, but it's like you might not make revenue for some time, and then you organize a campaign, and then it spikes, right? And you make a lot of sales. But that also means that you need to prepare all inventory in advance. So cash flow was quite challenging, and we wanted some business where it brought a little bit more stability into cash flow. And SaaS is a very stable business model in that sense. So that was the reason, but also because just so many people were asking, like, how are you guys making that revenue? We also want to work with influencers. And we said, yeah, we use this software, and they were asking us, oh, can we also use it, right? So we thought, okay, look, there's certainly demand for this. So that was also one reason why we started to commercialize the software.
And you decide to close your e-commerce, or you have it by
At some point, there was a decision to make where we are running both at the same time. But it was just too much. So Influencer Hero kicked off quite significantly. So the growth was very fast. And at the same time, well, you run a business, right? Running two is, running one is already very challenging.
Yeah.
Running two at the same time is even more challenging. So we had to make a decision there. Which was a very tough choice. So I always still want to go back into e-commerce. But right now we decided, okay, let's focus on
This was 2020. What?
Oof, this was 2022.
Okay. But I'm completely agree with you that you need to be laser focused on your business, and a lot of mistakes that people made, and we also made it back in then, is to start doing other things that are your main goal. You know, we had two e-commerce. We had another one e-commerce that sold shoes, and the other one we sold apparel. And at the end we had our main business, that is the agency, and we had to make the decision to, okay, our best product market fit is the agency, is the one that is bringing the more money, the most cash flow, the most profit. So we say we're gonna sell these two businesses. We sold it, and we focus on the agency, and we have been growing really fast because, as you know, we have X amount of time that we need to deploy it in the most valuable thing that you have as a business.
Yeah. How
know?
did you question? How did you get your first clients? So okay, you decided to transition into doing the platform. How did you started getting those first 2, 3, 5 clients?
Yeah, yeah. Back then, it was cold outreach.
Okay.
So I think a lot of, well, you guys are running an agency, and we have the same target audience essentially,
Yeah.
right? Target customers, and I think agency also do it a lot. But it was cold emailing.
Cold emailing.
Yeah. So just outreaching to
Yeah.
brands. Positioning our product. That's how we got our first customers.
Founders, CMOs.
Founders,
Yeah,
CMOs,
Yeah, C-level
e-commerce,
and
C-level.
founders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was a very good point on focus, right? There was a key decision there. And that's also why, right, if you do 3, 4 things at the same time, it becomes challenging. Even though it's so tempting, right? Because you see those opportunities and you want to actually work. For example, me, I love e-commerce. It's really my passion. And then it's tough. You have to sometimes make those decisions. But I think at the end, it was the right choice. Yeah.
For us, also is the same, because what happened with us, and we discuss a lot with my brothers and my business partners, is we saw a lot of opportunities in e-commerce, in other, like building a brand.
Yeah.
Because we work on e-commerce, we manage a lot of brands. We actually business partner with some of them, and some always in our thought is, okay, let's open a brand for us. But open a brand brings a lot of other headaches, inventory, supply chain, other things that we are not prepared, and the agency is in a really like growth phase that we cannot allow to waste our. I don't want to say waste, but unfocus our time.
Yeah, our time, we're going to have the best return of our time right now, doubling down on agency, on the things that we're doing with AI and everything. That's interesting. So okay, so you started reaching out these clients, cold email.
Which countries? I want to know.
US.
Yeah, you
we
focus.
We always target
Yeah.
US. Yeah.
You focused US. Okay, and let's say, how many emails did you have to send to close 5 clients?
Oof. So this was very different from time to time, because what was challenging with cold outreach is, at the beginning, we always had quite good response rate. So whenever we launch new initiatives, and we always use lead magnets, right? Like some sort of thing to freebies. One very thing good, which really worked really well, was in our software you can find influencers which already follow your Instagram page, and those are easy to work with, right? Because they already know you. And we offered that for free in the email. So we said, hey, look, we saw that 3,000 influencers already follow your Instagram page. We can give you that list for free if you reply yes, right? And those kind of things we did all the time. But then at the beginning, the lead rates were really good. We're around like 3-4%. So lead rate, right? Yeah. But then it becomes challenging. Then it dropped again to like 1%, 0.5% lead rate. And then it was like emails getting into spam and those kind of things. So you had to do different things. Have you guys done cold outreach?
We have never been doing
We have
cold
never
outreach.
done cold outreach because we have grown very organically. Also, let's say in our kind of business, we're in a business where our business is not growing on the number of accounts that we manage. It's growing with the accounts we managed. So for us, it's better to scale an e-commerce, and it takes time. It takes a team, and the word of mouth has been our number one factor for success rate, and also the speed right now in which we can scale, because sometimes scaling an agency is not that easy. It takes time. So maybe later on we'll do cold outreach for our next step.
Even better if you can scale with your existing customer, negative churn, right?
Yeah. So our main way to get leads is one, word of mouth. That is really important for us, and that is one of the main backbones that we have been building the company. And the only way to do that is providing excellent service. That obviously we have problems and so on. And the other part is organic. We are really full on organic. We have our YouTube channel that is not so big, but a lot of qualified leads go there and see full in-depth strategy and see the information that we provide. And then they like go and text to us, hey, we want to book a meeting with you, and so on. So that is the 2 avenues that we have been working at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That means that you have a good business, right? Like if you offer the service you
yeah.
have and it's good and clients keep coming back.
Perception.
Yeah.
It has a good
It's
perception.
it has a good perception, and also we have been growing through our clients. A lot of the things that we do with our clients is also we're a commission-based business. So at the end, if the e-commerce grow, or also our income will grow with them. So that is a win-win for both of the parties. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so you started reaching out these clients or these brands, you started working with them. Success cases. Any story you want to share for us to know, for the audience to understand of US success cases in affiliate marketing, influencer marketing?
Yeah, certainly. We have published a lot of case studies on our website, and we talk a lot about the performance marketing component of those case studies. I think if you look at bottom of the funnel conversion campaigns, one campaign which comes to mind was the written case studies on our website was a YouTube campaign, was in the home decor sector. So it was a client in the home and living space. They did a YouTube campaign, and one YouTube creator generated 60,000 US dollars in revenue. And I think she made 2 videos or 3 videos. And that shows a little bit, and I want to explain that later on as well, is how performance marketing work with influencers. But a single creator can make a huge difference. And I think the total campaign revenue of that YouTube campaign was 109,000 US dollars. And that one creator made 60.
Yeah,
More than half.
Yeah, more than
More
half
than-
of the total revenue. With two or three, I think 3 videos.
Yeah, that at the end the money on front is the sale of the influencer guy with
And
the
how
video.
was the video?
It was mainly a review video.
With a review.
Yeah, so YouTube is very good if you compare to Instagram and TikTok because of it evergreen nature of the content,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
stays up.
Yeah.
And with Instagram and TikTok, you have more that your revenue spikes,
And
but
then it-
once the post expires or the reel is up for a few days, it just drops,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With YouTube, you get a little bit more consistent exposure, consistent traffic because the video stays up, the
stays
views
up.
accumulate,
Like
and
SEO.
also the sales.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it has
Yeah,
everyone-
yeah, and
SEO.
also in SEO, major benefit, right? Those videos they actually rank in the SERP.
yeah.
So if you optimize the keywords of the title, you tell the influencer, hey, use these kind of keywords in your title.
Yeah.
Those videos will also rank in the SERP.
Yeah, no, for us also in our YouTube channel, what we have been seeing is we have some of these videos that we have been uploading 2 years ago, and they have been getting stronger and stronger views. And you go and see the
Yeah.
graph, and it continues to increase. And
So
this is something that it runs with, as you mentioned, with SEO and SERP with YouTube. And I think in a perspective of okay, how I can get affiliate marketing. Content creators that start running not only content through TikTok, Instagram, but also in YouTube is a good avenue because it will compound.
It will compound, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 2 videos, reviews, and the videos were long. The creator was a big creator or a small creator. Did he have a discount code, or how was the campaign?
Was a big creator, more than 400K subscribers. And we convinced the creator to start working on an affiliate fee.
Okay.
And this is very difficult on YouTube, right? Because on Instagram and TikTok, you make one video, right? You make a reel or a story, which is for a creator a lot easier to do. But for a YouTuber, they actually have to record. They have a studio. They have equipment. So to ask them to create a promotional video is usually a lot more expensive than on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
But back then, we were actually working with one of our agency partners on this campaign. And we recommended to actually start with seeding because this was a performance campaign. And it worked. At the end of the day, the total campaign on that 109K or something, it was, I think, around 4.5x return on, we always say return on ad spend, but I like to use the term return on influencer spend because we're not spending on ads. But yeah, the ROI was quite good. I think that was the one YouTuber she was quite expensive at the end because we asked for more videos.
Yeah.
The debut video made 16K US dollars in revenue. So we're like, okay, we're on to something.
Yeah.
Let's
do
make more, right?
Yeah.
But then she was quite expensive. We had to pay back then we paid, I think, 10K or a little bit more than 10K for like 2 additional videos.
Additional videos.
But it was
Okay.
profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it continues to have them in the YouTube channel.
Yeah. And
So-
it continues to
yeah,
drive.
to drive some
yeah.
sales and bring. Yeah.
Oh, and it was just a very short snippet actually. It was not a full review video, and this was the stop.
Okay. It was like a 15 second.
Like a 30 seconds snippet in the video. But it was during Black Friday. It was. I actually wrote a whole case study on this whole collaboration with that one influencer. Because it was so interesting because we were before Black Friday. I think it was September where the video launched, which made 16K. They were like, okay, shit, we need her to post videos during Black Friday, right? Because we make a lot of revenue there. But then she didn't reply, and it was almost close to Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then she replied.
24 hours before the Black Friday, and she
Yeah, it was
haven't
crazy.
answered.
Yeah.
That happens
Yeah.
with a lot of the brands that we work, and this is sometimes because things happen, but you are really close to the release date that is important, and 24 hours people is sending you the things, giving you the video, go to send it to the editor, and that is something that happens in the industry.
And did she post it an affiliate link? What commission percentage did she had? How was she able to track her sales? How was that process?
Yeah. So we used Influencer Hero. So we support creating affiliate links, discount codes, so you can track the performance. And she just included the link in her description, which was an affiliate link. So we could track the clicks and the conversions, and she received her own discount code as well.
Okay.
So that's actually the best way currently still on the market to track bottom of the funnel performance, is using affiliate links and discount codes. The affiliate link uses a cookie in the browser, so even if the customer purchases, 30 days later or 60 days later, it's still attributed as long as they don't use a different browser. That's how we track. But one thing I want to note here is with all things digital marketing, like it's never 100% attribution, right?
Yeah, that's right. And more with UTMs,
Yeah,
Sometimes you
exactly.
can- and
It gets
cookies,
lost.
And
And
get
when
60% data.
very, very good. Yeah, I think we are at around 70% on average.
Okay.
Where if we look at all the campaigns we do with our agency partners, and which we did with our own brand as well, we saw that around 30% of the total sales were not attributed.
Okay.
So you just have to divide your tracked sales by 70%, so you know the actual sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing is code, because with code you know exactly that person came by the code.
But not all people use the code, unfortunately, and a lot of e-commerce have, for example, code maybe on their website, or you include a code in your email marketing afterwards when they submit the email, and they use a different code. So also their attribution sometimes gets
And
lost.
sometimes people don't use right the code,
Yeah,
sometimes they don't work, and it brings a lot of like problems in the operational part. But we're already talking about Influencer Hero. I would like you to, Peter, to help us understand how it works. So how you can fully let us understand how it works, the platform.
So Influencer Hero is an all-in-one influencer marketing platform. We support everything end to end. First things first, we support both inbound and outbound motion. So inbound is if creators come to you, you can create an application page, put it on your website, and once they apply, you can reject or accept in your CRM. That's for inbound. But the biggest thing to scale your campaign is outbound. So that's basically the first step is using our database. We have over 200 million creators in our database. You can use 200 million. So these are essentially all existing creators, and globally, just not China, because they don't support the Western platforms. But then you can use detailed filters, so audience analytics, age, gender, find exactly the people you want to work with. Then you reach out to them using AI personalization. So it's actually one of our core features, or one of our proprietary features is it looks at the last post on social media and automatically creates a personalized sentence. So every email gets a personalized message. CRM to manage the campaigns. UGC is automatically tracked. Reporting, so you can see all your results of your campaign. It's all AI powered. So one person can manage hundreds to thousands of creators by using batching features. So those are kind of the core capabilities of our platform.
I want to go like further into, or if you can explain more into detail, batching features, what it is.
Yeah. So the batching feature is if you have, for example, 1,000 creators in your CRM, because we focus on large scale influence programs, right? Because if you work with 5 creators,
It will not have an impact, you know, it's really low volume.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
at the
could
end.
do that manually, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Do 5 creators. But we work with brands which work with hundreds of creators each month, new ones, and they have thousands of creators in their system. And then what you can do with the batching feature is you have, for example, let's say you have 1,000 creators in your CRM, and then you can use AI to write, select all creators which made a post in the last 30 days or which made more than $500 in sales. Then the CRM automatically selects all those creators, and then you can batch action items. So you can send out the campaign invitation flow, for example, with outreach and 3 follow-ups to invite them to a Black Friday campaign. Or you can say change the affiliate commission from 10% to 20%. So you can do all sorts of action in the CRM, but using this batching feature, one person can manage hundreds, if not thousands, of creators.
I have a question, and it's regarding in the operational side. First, maybe if you could give us an example or a story, but sometimes brands are very fearful of getting into influencer marketing because of the time it takes to operate all of these influencers. So, how do you, let's say, think your platform works against that objection that people might have? Like, no, I don't have the time, or I cannot do the effort.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I want to do a campaign, I want to do a lot of influencers, but how does it usually work? And I don't know, maybe you can have an example of, hey, I don't know, this brand, they use this person, and 2 hours a day he does whatever. But what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think whenever we build software, we always build it from a performance marketing perspective. And if you look at ROI, the cost of having a person manage your program is quite high. So in influencer marketing, you have different costs involved, right? You need to compensate the influencer, you need to send them products, shipping, but actually the management cost of managing the program and the time it takes, what you just mentioned, that takes quite some time. And for a business, that's a cost line item in your P&L. So we built entire software to streamline the process, to make influencer teams more effective, and basically put them in a position to get more done in less time, right? So you lower cost that way. So how the software helps is basically we calculated out once, like one person can do the amount of work of 5 full-time people, which work manually without software, right? So yeah, I think that's the core part where we make it more efficient.
And something that I go along with the ball is, at the end, affiliate marketing is a volume
Game.
you know. So what is an advice that you can give to the audience that if they have any commerce, like, hey, if you want to start, I recommend you to start, let's say, I don't know, 100 creators, 200 creators. What do you think is a good number?
Yeah, so what we typically recommend brands to do is to test at least in batches of 100 creators.
Of
100 creators. Okay.
Because, and that's, I think, where most of the brands stop or give up on influencer marketing is because they, for example, see brands like Gymshark or Daniel Wellington, and they see the success and they know that it was creator-led business and they want to replicate that. But then they reach out to a
10,
few influencers,
15.
10, 20, they don't see the returns and they say, oh, influence marketing is not working for us,
Yeah.
right? But 10, 20 doesn't mean anything. It can be your 30th or your 40th influencer.
That it will actually boom.
Like the YouTube example,
Yeah.
she makes 15K in one video, and that person finances a whole batch of influencers which don't perform, right?
Yeah.
So there are very strong power law distributions. So I think it's the 80-20 principle, right?
Yeah.
Pareto principle. I think it's the best example. It's influence marketing.
Yeah, in anything. For any businesses, it's like that. That happens. 20% of your clients will bring you the 80% of the revenue, and that happens in any business. We have seen in e-commerce, in the agency, in a lot of things, and it's really real that people need to understand that law, Pareto law, actually works like that. So at the end, it's a volume game. So how you manage this, like content creators? You text them through the platform, you send them the product. How is that process before you already reach them?
Yeah, so all communication is mainly focused on email. We see the best results. We do DMs as well, but email is just, it just comes over more professional as a business if you contact an influencer through email. And you can scale. With DMs, you cannot scale.
Okay.
Because Meta will block you, right?
Yeah.
But with
Spam. Or what?
exactly.
Yeah,
And they will just, your messages won't be sent. With email, you can connect multiple domains, right? And you can basically scale as fast as you like.
Okay.
Using our software. So the question was, how do we scale, right? To hundreds of
How do you manage? Yeah,
How do you
like,
manage?
like,
Yeah, like-
let's say a brand, I don't know, has one person and that person it's full time and full time he contacts 100, and how does he usually manage? Or that person, I don't know, has like multiple jobs, and I don't know, what do you know about this?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so usually, look, the only thing here is our software, it is an active SaaS software. So it's not like a push notification app or something which runs on the background and it runs. You still need someone actively logging into the CRM and manage those partnerships because they're human relations, right? You need to build relationships with people. I think as much as we use AI and technology, you still need a person. So you still need to actively log in. But that person would typically, use our database, and then in the CRM, it's just a lot more organized. Because if you do it in your email inbox, everything is cluttered, right? In our CRM, you have a structured system from responses to negotiation to send products. Everything is automated. So we have, you guys work with a lot of Shopify merchants, right? We have integration with all the big CMSs. With Shopify, you can just install our Shopify app from the App Store. And then we can send out products automatically from the system. It creates an order in your Shopify. The affiliate links and discount codes are connected through Shopify. So that way you have everything streamlined in one system. And that person can be a lot more effective compared to doing it manually.
To be clear, we're going to be launching a second video of Influencer Hero where we'll be explaining in depth the technical and the capabilities of the platform. We will do like a platform demonstration. We already did it with Luisa.
Yeah.
For our audience to know.
Yeah, to continue with the idea and so on is, what is the best practices that you recommend to manage these content creators, Because what we have been facing sometimes is, obviously, sometimes creators don't want to work with a brand. They expect something that probably it doesn't match their expectations. So what are the best practices?
I think this depends on the goal of your campaign. If your goal of the campaign, and a lot of brands who use our software and who work with our agency partners want performance. So if your campaign is bottom of the funnel and you want to drive conversions, then we recommend and we implement this with our agency partners, is this kind of approach, which I mentioned. You do testing and seeding campaigns at the beginning because you want to keep your cost low. Because again, you don't know which influencers perform. And again, these parallel distributions, right? A small group make a lot of sales. So if you start to pay all of them thousands of dollars, right, you will lose money quite fast. So for performance, we recommend starting with seeding campaigns, identifying the influencers which work, and then building relationships and running seasonality campaigns with those which sell. Then, for example, you can do on Black Friday, you invite the ones which they can sell and create additional videos.
Just for our audience, they might not know what seeding means. Can you explain what seeding means?
So seeding is a word, it refers to campaigns with influencers where you send product in exchange for a post. So you don't pay them a fixed payment. You tell them, hey, I want to send you my product for free. You earn affiliate commission if you make sales, but I want one post in return. And sometimes brands also do it's not an obligation to post, right? Because if you think about it, if you have a lot of creators and they have your products, you get naturally organic exposure, right? If you're a fashion brand and you have creators wearing your t-shirts, you get exposure, right? But yeah, seeding means basically non-fixed payment campaign.
Yeah. Okay. No, that is nice to know. So in order to manage these content creators in a seeding perspective is, okay, go reach a high volume of them, and then focus on your most important campaigns. Let's say Black Friday, let's say launching of a product and that is the way that you recommend to start if you want to go into the bottom of the funnel, you know?
Yeah, so for performance, that's the approach. And it's really important to reutilize the ones which perform. Because I often see brands, they find them
Stop working
and then they stop. You guys do Facebook ads, right? It will be the same as you test your creatives, then you find your winning ads, and then you stop. You don't boost your performing ads. You have to do those two phases, right? Testing, finding ones which perform, and then building relationships and running active campaigns, which the creators, which actually make sales. And that's where the ROI comes from. Yeah.
That's interesting. Something that we are going also to show in the other video, and I was talking to you is we've been doing a lot of A/B testing between UGC content and creative, let's say static creative on Meta ads and Google ads and TikTok ads, whatever. And the results that you get in every KPI, either if it's conversions KPI or brand KPI, it's like double, triple. Let's say you put that UCG content versus creative, communicating the same with the same audience, with the same budget, running in the same, let's say, time frame. ROAS 3x, CTR 2x, comments, shares, saves,
interactions,
2x, everything. Because I think at the end, that's also what the platforms are pushing, and people also, when we say a platform is, it's the content that people is consuming. No, people it's consuming more video, it's consuming more relationships, it's looking for more trustworthiness in the creator that's creating the thing, and there's a lot of brands, and don't get me wrong, that they still don't see this or understand the importance of this trustworthiness through real videos, through real content, and that's something that's very important that you mentioned over there.
How much percent usually when you guys run ads is UGC versus brand assets?
Right now, I'm looking for a structure that's getting me results. Around 30 to 40% of the ad budget spent, I'm sending it to UGC. The other, let's say always on, and to some commercial offers that we might have on the seasonality. But it's something that that depending on the account, because every account is different, but that you have to go testing. But what we're trying now, it's most of the UCG content, big budget for that top of funnel, and it's getting better results. It's getting more profitable at the end, and be able to optimize better at the end.
Also, what I want to add on something is, at the end, getting all this volume of people that create content and as affiliate marketing, at the end, they give you content, and this volume of content is something that you can go and do whitelisting. You can push it through your Facebook ads, Google ads, and TikTok ads. And that is something important because many of the brands that you work or start working with them and you see them, one of the biggest bottleneck is creating UCG content. Yeah, that is a huge mistake, problem that brands have, and is how I can get volume of content, frequently content that is good, that is reliable, that is natural, and that is something that we have been seeing in the past years that we have been working with brands, and it's a great way to leverage that,
Yeah, the speed is crucial, volume is crucial. Regarding volume, do you have like a stat of, I don't know, from every 100 videos you get, I don't know, 20 are going to be winners, or what have you seen?
Good question. So I totally agree. Like UGC is such a big component of influence marketing, right? And that's why we work with so many Facebook ads agencies or performance marketing agencies on media buyers. And so the question was, the percentage breakdown. What I typically see, so all the content is first of all automatically tracked in Influencer Hero. So you have a content library where you can see all the creatives. And typically, I would say if you do a seeding campaign, right? So you don't pay the creators. I would say around 5 to 10% are like high quality UGCs, which you can reuse for your paid. Now it can be a bit higher, maybe around 15%, but then you also have to test those and see which ones are winners in your ad account, right? If you work with fixed payments, you can get higher quality content because you pay them, you can tell them what to post. But for a seeding campaign, I would say around 15 to 10% are like really good videos. You get like different types of videos. And one thing I want to add to this is what we have seen when I had a conversation with one of our partners who run ads is that the story posts, which are automatically tracked in our software, performed the best on Facebook.
Sorry, Paul.
The story, not the reels, because the stories are
Or
well.
bottom of funnel.
This is I think I'm not 100% sure, but this is my hypothesis, right? Because the stories, the creator, it's super organic because they know it expires after 24 hours, right? So in my opinion, it's the most organic or authentic piece of content you can get, because a reel, the creator already thinks, okay, this is going to be up on my feed, it will stay there, so they already act a little bit, right? And the stories are so organic. I think that's the reason, but I'm not 100% sure. But those work really well on paid.
I think that, let's say, in the psychology of a user that's using Instagram or whatever, when you think of the different type of content that people see within a Instagram profile, let's say, I don't know, you see a reel. A reel is top of funnel, because a reel has a lot of exposure within
The
organic
platform,
Instagram, when you search or what you do in the explore section, whatever, you see the reels and that's top of funnel. And that's, let's say, the brand awareness that you as a personal creator or as a brand create. When you get into the profile, what do you see? The trustworthiness, like, hey, okay, I'm an influencer or I'm a brand, I do this, whatever. And if I follow, then that's the bottom of funnel, that it's the day to day. If I really am into it, and that's the stories. The stories for me are the ones that, as you said, are the ones that are going to convert the most, because it's where people are more
natural, and they're the
and
most
more
quickest.
relatable to you.
Also,
You
sometimes
already
it really,
passed through that awareness, that middle funnel of trustiness, and now you're there, like.
And the biggest one, you can include a CTA.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one, right? So in a reel, you cannot include a clickable link, and in a feed also not. Now, what is the most important in marketing? Well, not maybe the most. Well, the hook is maybe even more important than the CTA. But if you don't have a good CTA, it won't work. And in stories, the creators often have the CTA.
you have the link, and you can upload the link, and it's you have the CTA. So I have a question, because we talk about we discuss about product seeding, and also when we have paid collaborators, no?
Yeah.
So when do you recommend to make the switch, or what do you recommend to have is a good idea to have in the portfolio? Let's say I have, for 100 creators, I have 20 that are paid and 80 that are seeded.
For an affiliate commission.
Yeah, for an affiliate commission. So
Good question. I think this also depends again on the objective of the campaign. I think if your objective is branding and awareness and reach, fixed payments campaigns can work really well.
okay,
Because you can work with larger creators, and typically the
Nowadays.
reach is just bigger, right?
yeah.
If your main objective is to create like one piece of very high quality UGC, which you want to put a big budget behind on paid, then I would also suggest, pay a creator $1,000 or $500, depending on the creator, and tell them really how to make the creative, right? Include a hook and a good CTA at the end, etc., etc. But if your objective
Objectives,
is
performance.
performance and conversions,
Yeah.
then I recommend the seeding campaign. But again, obviously, right, you shouldn't do only bottom of the funnel, right? It's super important to nurture your top of funnel. So a combination could be a good choice. But if I was running an e-commerce, I would focus more on the bottom of the funnel campaigns, to be honest.
Yeah. Question, and it's how do you make them the payouts?
Also all automated through the software.
Yeah.
So they have a creator dashboard where they can log in. So the creators, they have their own dashboard.
Yeah.
They can add their bank details, their PayPal.
Any
and-
bank, any
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, if it's banking, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's fine. It's just that in certain developing countries, the penetration of
It's not
banking is
so-
not always that big.
Okay.
So there we see sometimes some alternative payment methods and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure. For example, in Latin America, I can maybe it's different, but in the US, Europe,
Yeah. At the end, it's straightforward with the content creator. Go to the dashboard. This is the sales that you have been getting, and this is the money that you have. We're gonna send it to. We're gonna wire this to your bank, and so on. So
No, go ahead.
no, so I have a question regarding to the pricing and how the structure of Influencer Hero. Do you charge a commission? How the platform charge to the to the brand that is willing to work with you?
Yeah, we have different subscriptions. The smallest subscription starts at $3.49, but that's a bit limited. You have certain capabilities in there. We feature gate, and in total we have 4 different plans. Yeah, so the next tier is $6.49 a month US. But honestly, we with enterprises it's often custom pricing, because with enterprises they often need certain technical integrations. They might dock into our API. They might have certain needs, where our development team has to build custom code. There we often work with custom pricing. But for most e-commerce, which can just install the Shopify app, for example, or install the Magento app and just get going, you can use the tier pricing. $3.49, $6.49, and $1,049 are the 3 plans which we offer.
It's really affordable. Like if you see and if you understand that you can get
But you
volume
have to
of
use
content.
it, no? You have to get volume. O sea,
Yeah, at the end
it's
you
a
need
volume game.
someone. Yeah, it's a volume game, and you need someone that is in front of the project. Could be anyone on the marketing team, e-commerce team, but it's important to make use of the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question. What do you recommend for brands, like having a person in charge of the platform or hiring an agency for you to run the program? Or depending on the size of the brand.
Yeah, no, I think this also depends on the situation. I would say there's no right or wrong way to do it, either working with an agency or doing it in-house. I think it depends on your needs. So the major advantage of doing it in-house is more control, right? You are doing it in-house, so you can select all the creators, you have all the processes, and you build the know-how within your team, right? Yeah, I think that's the major advantage of in-house.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a dedicated person, because that's the thing, right? I think that's where
Cost.
a lot goes wrong. Yeah, if you don't have a dedicated person, it's if the founder says, okay, look, I'm going to dedicate 5% of my time to influencer marketing. That's not going to work. You need someone dedicated to work.
It's in front of the project that is always like in front of the people, the content
I
creators.
think it's
So-
the opportunity cost, no? And it's, hey, I'm a brand, I have X amount of budget. If I'm going to hire someone full time, or if I'm going to pay an agency, what's going to be more expensive? What's going to return me the most?
The
and
most
where I'm
time,
going to-
yeah. And sometimes as a founder or CEO or whatever that is running a company, sometimes you need to leverage your time to do other things, like
Yeah.
product development, sourcing of product, building leaders, building the teams, building the process systems that you have in your company. So yeah, in that part is a great point to have.
Training part, right? Because if you do it in-house, you need to train your team. And I think that's the biggest where I say it's really good to work with an agency because they are the experts, right? They don't need to be trained. So that's why we also are so heavily working or investing in our partnership program, because we see actually great successes come when our agency partners are working together with our dev team to implement the campaigns for the clients, because then you have a dedicated person who really cares about that campaign and executes. So again, I would say if you have the resources to hire a team to train them, then do it in-house. But if you're limited on time, then I think hiring an agency is the best choice.
For us, let's say what we're doubling down right now, and what we see with the current clients that we have is we've got to double down on affiliate marketing. Why? Because when you see, let's say, the results of a business, which is sales, you go subtract cost, and then you have your profit. The biggest spend or the biggest cost of a business is ad spend. And the thing with ad spend is cash up front, Well, of course, you can have a line of credit, whatever, you can have different things, but it's mostly cash up front. The thing of paying with results is, okay, I'll pay as I grow, and that gives you more profitability and better cash flow for the business. And we've had a lot of examples that we've worked with big creators with small creators, and we've had both. We have big creators being paid a lot of money and not bringing one sale.
Yeah.
We have had big creators bringing a lot of sales, and we have had small creators bring a lot of sales.
Yeah.
So, as you said, it's a numbers game. It's you are never 100% sure if that creator or influencer is really going to make the business. And content creators need to monetize their content. You as brand needs, of course, you want to scale, and you have to keep the wheel spinning and growing. And I think that's a great solution for the market right now and for what's coming in the future. Where, for the audience that don't know, we met at the AW conference here in Dubai in February in the networking space.
Yeah.
And it was a great conversation. And as soon as you told us that, we said, hey, we have to get into conversations, because we've been doing this not in a professional way, let's say with a platform or whatever. And there's a lot of things to do in South American market.
Yeah.
Because affiliate worldwide is very big, and in South America it's very
Yeah, it's not so big. It's not so big. It's not so well known. And also, I want to add on that something that happens is brands cannot be relying only on paid media, because the cost per acquisition, the only thing, it will continue to rise.
It's
If
high.
yeah, it's
so
high.
expensive.
Yeah, it's becoming expensive.
Yeah.
Year through year, it's growing 16, 18% year to year. You can increase your AOV, but at the end, also, at some point, it's going to get to a threshold. So you need to start working and looking.
other channels.
Yeah, leveraging other channels. Let's say email marketing, let's say organic content, let's say SEO, let's say affiliate marketing. There are places that you can actually start building more revenue to your company that are not relying on you're paying to Facebook ads or Google ads or TikTok ads. And that is something that affiliate marketing comes here and helps. Also, what happened with affiliate marketing?
Can I
And
add something over there that you said?
yeah.
And the thing is, and it happens to all the brands, as you scale in the ad spend, your ROAS drops, and that's less profitability. And you have to really work on brand, and you have to really work on other sales channels, because at the end, let's say having a good distribution, like really understanding which platforms to go, like really leveraging this, it's what's really going to impact your profit at the end of the day.
Yeah. And what we have been pushing in the past years, we have been doing this 10 years, but in the past, let's say 3 years, 4 years, we have been trying to push really hard organic for our clients. Like if you don't have a good community, if you don't have like a good SEO strategy, if you don't have a good social media presence, and if you don't build that into your business, it will be harder and harder. And the best e-commerce are the one that actually learn how to master all of these pieces: paid media, email marketing, organic social content,
brand.
SEO, brand, product. Yeah, there's a lot of
marketing.
things. Yeah, I know. I was, and the last part that I want to mention is influencer marketing, really important. And also that is important is because, as we mentioned, how it works affiliate marketing, also you have the volume of content that you can run on Facebook ads that will drop your CPMs, Good UCG content, good engagement on those type of content will drop your CPMs, and at the end will make your paid media more efficient. So there is something that brands need to leverage, and you cannot rely on only one channel.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, what has been the hardest part of building Influencer Hero?
I think the hardest part of building the business was definitely at the beginning, going from 0 to 1, because we were bootstrapped, So, and if you look at well, first of all, I think we are one of the few B2B SaaS providers in the space which are bootstrapped. So most of the competitors are funded. So, for example, we have to be very creative in our go-to-market because we cannot spend on Google or Facebook, because what happens is those competitors which raise venture capital, most of the financing goes into ad spend, right? So what do you think the CPCs for the keyword influencer software, it's $30 plus. It's very, very expensive. So you have to be creative. But I think the toughest part was definitely at the beginning when we bootstrapped the e-commerce because of the cash flow issues we had. That I think was tough, because if you compare, for example, SaaS with e-commerce, the SaaS model is quite similar to the agency model from a cash flow perspective, because you have your clients, which typically pay on a retainer basis, maybe every month, right? And then you have your payroll, right? At the end of the month, you have to pay your employees. With e-commerce, your P&L can look really nice. You might have 15% or higher margins, and you think, okay, this looks really nice. But if you look at the cash flow, it gives a completely different picture.
Oh, you need
It's
to, you
like
need to,
this.
yeah, it's like this. You need to
Yeah.
pay the inventory on front. You
Exactly.
have the also,
Yeah.
yeah, you need to, you need to also, let's say, I don't know, I'm purchasing $1 million a month on the inventory, but it's come Black Friday. I need to make now $3 million, $4 million
Yeah.
in inventory because the season is coming, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that in cash flow bucket, or if you don't have like the supplier, you don't have like payment terms, it will be sometimes harder. You
And then
know?
you have end of the year that if you don't spend that money, you're going to be taxed.
Yeah, and yeah, if you don't spend the money and if you don't sell the product, you have 3 million plus the debt that you get and the payment plan that you are. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
the Black Friday example is a very good example, because a lot of e-commerce, they make a huge amount of revenue during Black Friday, right? But what you said, if you make 2 million in sales, and I don't know, your cost of goods sold, maybe your gross margin is around 70% or something, right? That means that you have to upfront 600K, so more than $500,000 in cash to purchase that inventory, right? To make those 2 million or something. And yeah, that's very volatile. But then at the end of the day, right, after Black Friday, yeah, you make your money, and if you are able to survive that, then it's amazing, right? But
yeah. When we go with our clients and see the financials and we do the projection of the year, we actually try to figure it out which month are the great ones and where are the bad ones to help them like build a strategy on cash. You know, a lot of them, they don't have much of this idea on how you can structure cash, where those bad months, what you can do to actually have a better month. And it's important for us as an agency to teach them not only about Facebook ads, CRM, but also how to manage their cash, how to manage their inventory, how to prepare for these type of things, because a lot of them get into a bad situation when it comes the season. You know, hey, it's August, I need to purchase my inventory for December. I don't have any money. I don't have, and so that is some problems that we figure out.
influence marketing, it touches quite a bit supply chain, because I said about the seeding campaigns, right? You need to send so many products to influencers, which means you need extra inventory, right? So that's why, it becomes quite operational. It's not just like Facebook ads, and marketing is quite split off from supply chain, because you need all those products to send to creators. It becomes quite operational. So it touches cash flow, it touches operations, logistics, right?
Yeah, that's right. Next question: what are you building next?
What are the
Any
next steps
features,
for influencers?
expansions, goals?
So we launched 2-3 months ago our biggest initiative to date, which are creator storefronts. And I mean, this is probably a podcast for itself, but we really think that this is the future of social commerce, of creator-led performance marketing. And it are just, in simple terms, just a shop which creators can set up and they can add their favorite products. Yeah. And the whole notion or the thought behind it, and this is working extremely well for the first users which are leveraging this, is that creators post on their own, because they have all their favorite products in one place, right? And there was always what we were thinking from a performance perspective, right? We were always thinking, how can you get the creators to post every day, right? Because you always have to ask them, look, can you please post at the end of the month, or can you please post? And this is solving that issue, because the creators, they earn affiliate automatically. They have all their favorite products in one place. So this is something we released 2-3 months ago, and this will be what we are working on, for the next few years.
Like buying at, I don't know, Andrea's Closet. Go and buy Andrea's Closet, and she has all her products in her storefront. And
For us, what happened with us is a lot of people come to me, friends, business partners, whatever, clients, and they always come to me to ask a lot of times of this type of equipment. You know, which microphone you use, which camera you
Yeah,
use, which lens you use, and at the end, okay, people is come to me because I can give them some trustiness on the products that I purchase to run the studio in my agency, to run probably also the software that we run as an agency, because we run Shopify, we run Omnisend, we run other softwares. So I think it's a good idea to, okay, you can create content, then people see your content and see, okay, I want to purchase this product. They land in that is what, like on a landing page. Yeah.
Yeah, so
They land.
It is the storefront itself is it is a bit similar like link in bio, right?
Ah,
So
okay,
it's
okay,
just
okay.
one page. But it's similar to a landing page, but just with shelves.
Okay.
So we do focus mainly on physical product e-commerce. So if you look at it, it just looks like shelves, and you have
Okay.
different products in there.
But that is a
Yeah.
great
So
idea.
you see the link in bio, you see, let's say, the catalog of products, they click and they will land at the, let's say, Shopify of the brand, and then they buy with the...
Exactly.
It will land to the product
Yeah.
page of the
Of
Shopify.
of the brand,
Okay,
right? Of
okay,
your
perfect.
clients. And then if they convert, affiliate is automatically triggered. The creator gets paid,
Okay.
and the brand makes sales.
At the end, it's like a landing page for my products.
Yeah,
A landing
quite
page
similar.
especially for this brand, and I am in charge of, as a creator, of picking up what are the products that I want to recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just one only difference. I mean, you have brand specific storefronts, which are only for one product. But that destroys a bit the thought behind it, because then the creator will not post automatically. They need all of their favorite products. So not only your brand, but they need like 5, 6, 10 different brands, so they continue to post. I think that's the main difference.
Yeah, I think if you, as a content creator, if you can really niche down into your avenue, you will have they will have a lot of potential to sell through affiliate.
Okay. Any advice for any e-commerce brands that want to start today? If you started, do you have any advice for e-commerce that are going to do influencer marketing, or that are starting a business, or want to scale?
I would say follow that performance marketing perspective, which I talk a lot about in my content on testing first. Because otherwise it could happen that you lose a lot of money if you pay a creator, 1,000, 2,000 or more, because you don't know if they will perform, right? It's a small group of people which make a lot of sales. So try to keep your budget low at the beginning, work with affiliate and gifting campaigns, test creators, find your winners, and then don't forget to then build relationship and continue to work with those winners, and organize Black Friday seasonality campaigns. Can be Mother's Day, can be Father's Day. I think that's the approach where you're able to test and build your business profitably instead of like losing money on fixed payment campaigns. Yeah.
Okay, and I have another question, and is, you are really successful. You have been launching your e-commerce.
There are a
you
lot
have,
more successful people,
Yeah.
especially here in Dubai.
but you have been growing,
That's right.
especially. But you are in a really great road. You have been, you create your e-commerce. You have been creating this amazing platform that is getting a lot of traction. As a business owner, what is the best advice that you can give to another business owner?
Oof, I think obsessing about product. I mean, look, also, I'm sitting here doing the podcast and doing the marketing and sales, but most of the credit goes to my co-founder and the engineering team who has built the Influencer Hero product, right? Because I think even in e-commerce or SaaS or in an agency model, it's your service, right? The product is your service. If you obsess about the product, your marketing KPIs will always look better. Because if you have to sell a shit product, your KPIs will look a lot worse. It's very difficult to sell that, right? But if you have very good product, you have retention, customers keep coming back, then your marketing KPIs will also look better. So I always think product over distribution, although, look, without a distribution model, you don't have a business. So definitely it's important to test distribution models and marketing channels. But I would say always focus a lot on the product, because you tend to go to look a lot at sales and marketing, right? You want to sell. But if you don't focus on the product, at the end of the day, I think really the best product will win. So that's maybe the one thing we try to really focus on is product.
Great advice. Great advice. Well, no, Peter, I think it's been amazing, this podcast. The amount of value that you have brought to the audience, and also I wanted to be thankful about you being our first guest in the podcast. But for the audience who want to know about you, who wants to know about Influencer Hero, where can they find you? Where can they learn more about it?
So we are on LinkedIn a lot. So our company page, just Influencer Hero, so HERO. And I'm also on LinkedIn, so just Peter Nettesheim, and then Influencer Hero. That's, I think, where we are active or most active on social.
Yeah, also we're gonna leave all the links and information in the part of in behind of the YouTube channel. So if they want to contact you or work with your platform, they are more than welcome to go and do the click into the link. But Peter, it's amazing to have you here. You're a great guest. You have an amazing top tier software that we have been able to work with. So, brother, thanks again for your time and thanks to coming to our podcast.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the invite. I think it was great. I think we could discuss a lot about the value. So thanks a lot for having me.
Okay.
Now, Peter, thanks.
Thanks.
Brother. Bye.
Bye.